Hey there, it's Shauna with Homegrown Self-Reliance. So today for the Self-Reliance Skill of the Week, I am harvesting some edible weed seeds. I know it might sound kind of silly to some, but these weeds are edible, medicinal, they grow everywhere. I'm actually thinking about selling them on my website, so if you're interested in those, you can check that out on my site. These weeds pretty much grow about everywhere, and so we're just going to try to harvest some seeds. So this is the dock seeds that I harvested out of my pasture. I think I got almost all of it, so I'm sorry I can't show you how to do it, but I do have a video just about 2 weeks ago on harvesting dock seeds and grinding them up for a flour. So that is the actual seed, and it does have a little bit of a hole around it, but that's okay. For planting, these will do just fine. That's the way nature does it. These are nice and dry. It is November, and we haven't really gotten too much rain lately, so they are still pretty dry. Next on my list is common mallow. This is common mallow, and these are the seeds. They look like little cheese wheels. In fact, my mom used to call them cheeseweed. So I've just been pulling a bunch of the seeds off of my many plants that I have growing. Common mallow is actually a cousin to marshmallow. It is edible. I actually feed it a lot to my rabbits. The mama rabbits especially love it, and it actually helps boost their milk production. It's very nutritious and really good for you. If you have anything like IBS, or I've even heard Crohn's disease, it's really good to use mallow. You can make a tea out of it and drink it. It almost makes a gelatinous texture to whatever water you put in it, and that gelatinous stuff is actually the healing part of this plant. Super good for you. Very high in nutrients. So these ones are still green, as you can see. I did find some that were already dried on the stem, but for the rest of these, I'm going to have to dry them out for storage and for packaging. So they're going to be air drying for probably at least a couple weeks. I'm also going to try sprouting some of these, see if they make good sprouts or microgreens, but it's going to be a little bit of an experiment, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to do that. Some microgreens take up to 2 weeks to mature, So we'll see how those turn out. Also, these little things are also edible. Got a nice little crunch, just a very hint of almost a grassy flavor. But they're actually a nice little trail snack. And this right here is Amaranth. The leaves are almost gone on it, or they pretty much are gone. But I do know for a fact these are Amaranth. Sometimes it's hard to identify plants when the leaves are gone. But this is on my own property, so I know what grows where. With these, let's see if I can find the seeds in there. I believe it's that little black thing, but I'm trying to see if I can find it in the rest of the seed head here. I'm not seeing it offhand. Just a minute here. Well, I'm having a really hard time identifying the seed of this one. I think it's those right there, but it's really hard to tell. Also very, very tiny. So I'm probably not going to save these ones. Okay, now we're walking over to another part of my yard for one of my favorite seeds, or favorite wild plants. It's hard to tell right now because all the leaves are gone, but these are lamb's quarter. They're also known as goosefoot, and they are a wild spinach. Sorry, my ducks are really noisy right now. The seeds are super easy to harvest. Literally just run my hand down them and let them fall in a bowl. See all those lovely little seeds? There's a lot of chaff in there too. So I do have a trick of separating the chaff from the seeds that I'll show you in just a minute here. Let's get a little more seeds to work with first. Super easy, almost kind of fun. The mallow seeds are a little more tedious, but these ones I actually I like pulling my hand straight through them, and dumping them into a bowl. Works so good, so easy. Alright, we'll just get a few more handfuls here. And I'll show you the magic. Let me know if you would be interested in any of these edible and medicinal seeds. I know a lot of people are, well, my family at least, is saying why are you going to sell some seeds or weed seeds? Well, my thinking is that I'm a forager, and a lot of my content talks about foraging. And I've had so many questions about, oh, does this grow in my area? Does this grow in my area? And you know, I honestly don't really know for the most part, but most of these weeds grow just about everywhere. So if you're not familiar with them, if you don't have them in your yard already, or if you can't find them, I'm thinking maybe you could buy them from me. Now these are, lamb's quarter is more edible. They're very much like spinach, but they're actually more nutrient dense than spinach. They're a wonderful plant. It grows like crazy. I don't know if you can tell how tall these are, but they're about 4 feet tall. And I think the only reason that they're not taller is because my cows have taken off the tops of them. I've seen these actually get up to about 7 feet tall. So, you know, you're looking at 7 foot tall spinach. And if you get the seeds, you can plant them wherever you want them. They also don't get bitter like spinach does. I've found that they pretty much always have a nice, delicate flavor. So you can use them pretty much any time of year. So this is what we're left with. So a lot of that is the chaff, and of course the leaves. We've got a little breeze going on here, so I'll see if I can actually do this without losing everything. But I just shake it a little bit and blow. And the wind's actually helping me out a little bit too. As you can see, that's getting a lot of the extra stuff out of there. It does tend to get all over my face, but it's a good way to get it out of the bowl. So almost all of those are seeds. And since they are so dry, I'm just able to put them in a baggie for storage. There we go. That's a little better. It's a good idea to do this where you don't mind more of these popping up everywhere. Alright, here's another great one. This is plantain. It's kind of a weird color. I think it's because of the rain that we've had lately. But this is actually narrow leaf plantain. I don't have a lot of broadleaf plantain on my property, but I have a lot of narrowleaf. See the very prominent ridges. So what I'm going to try to do is harvest some seeds from it. Now the seeds in this are the very tiny little black things. So there's not a lot in each one of these seed heads, but see how tiny they are? See if I can even pick it up. That right there is a plantain seed. Plantain is a wonderfully medicinal herb. It's good for any kind of stomach issues. You can make a tea out of it for an upset tummy. It's also wonderful for skin. So you just take the heads off and rub them. Same kind of thing, we're getting a whole lot of chaff in there with the seeds. But I'll probably do the same thing to separate the chaff. There's really not a whole lot of seeds in each one. Luckily I've got a lot of plants. Plantain is one of my favorite herbs to put in a salve. It's so very healing for the skin. It's basically a wonder herb. We'll just do a couple more for now. I think you kind of get the general idea. Like I said, I know harvesting weed seeds might seem a little strange, but you know, if you know your edible plants and your medicinal plants, when they're disguised as weeds, you can plant them wherever you want, and nobody's going to bother them. They're going to just literally look like a bunch of weeds. So if you want to plant a stealth garden, this would be the way to do it. Alright, that's about all I'm going to do for now. But let's see if it works the same way. Sure does. Look at that. I've gotten most of the chaff out of there. Mostly left with just the seeds. Also, an interesting fact about these ones, plantain seeds can make a wonderful skin gel. So you soak these in hot water for a while, and they develop a gel-like substance also. They're a little bit like flax seeds. So, kind of a fun fact, but you can make a really nice skin healing gel out of plantain seeds. So let me know if you might be interested in buying some of the weed seeds. I guess that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Give it a like. Hope you subscribe. See you next time.